I just want to talk about this bill, the NDAA bill that is getting ready to be put into law by our legislature and signed by our dictatorial communist president. I'm sure things like what I'm saying right now will make me a terror suspect in the near future, but I guess that's the way it'll have to be. I'm reading this article from the businessinsider.com. It says NDAA set to become law. The terror is nearer than ever. I'm going to kind of read through this here. It says, it turns out that destroying the American Democratic Republic was easy to accomplish. Historians will write someday. Simply get the three major cable news networks to blather on about useless bullshit. They don't say that. For a few days while the legislature meets in secret behind closed doors to rush through the National Defense Authorization Act of 2012, NDAA, and its evil twin sister, the Stop Online Piracy Act, SOPA, which is a clever name for an internet censorship bill straight out of Orwellian nightmare. It says, sure, some independent media websites like Jon Stewart warned us about this. Ron Paul and Son warned us about this. Amnesty International and the ACLU have been screaming from the rooftops, crying bloody murder. But the American people let it happen because the vast majority of us simply don't find out in time. How many people do you know that never really watch anything other than local news? They don't care about what's going on in the world around them. They don't pay any attention to what's going on. They are truly the sheeple that you hear about. And if you're watching this, obviously you're not a sheeple, or at least you won't be for long. It says, and now President Obama's advisors are saying that he is withdrawing his veto threat against the NDAA. In other words, he's going to sign this. So it will become law, as will SOPA, the Internet Censorship Act, since it is becoming ever more apparent that our elected officials in Congress are not satisfied with their 9% approval rating. They want a 0% approval rating. I have no idea why Congress is pushing through anti-American legislation that is not only incompetent, but openly belligerent. I have no idea why the American media black out on NDAA. I do. They're bought and paid for. Anderson Cooper, Chris Matthews, Bill O'Reilly, and the other broadcast journalists have been disgustingly silent on what is undoubtedly the most important news story of the past decade. The single most important news story since 9/11. Combined, the NDAA and SOPA simply destroy American democracy. It's over, folks. You grew up with freedom, and even where the government encroached before, you've seen nothing. I was just listening to a guy on Alex Jones who was from East Berlin, and the Stasi were not even as bad as this is going to be. You had a chance with the Stasi. You had a chance to get the sack off of your head. This, you will not. They will be able to pick people up off the streets, put a sack over their head, throw them in a jail cell. Their family will never see them again unless they decide to let them out. And that is at their own discretion, because they never have to bring you before a judge or a jury. They can leave you there indefinitely, just like the Guantanamo Bay people. Not saying that they're good people over there, but who in the heck knows, because all they're doing is sitting in cells. That's the American dream of the communist fascist pigs that are running our country. their American dream. This isn't hype, it says. That isn't exaggeration. It will destroy the American democracy, and within a few days, your freedom of speech will be gone. Post something controversial online, and the government can legally disappear it. Annoy the government too much, or criticize Congress for its infinite wisdom and mercy, and you may find yourself in a military prison. This is the article. For the remainder of your life, without access to a trial or attorney. You have no more rights, people. Your senator and congressman and your president are signing away the basic freedoms that you have had your whole life and that everyone has had for the last 225 years or more. United States is going to become like North Korea. You like it? Even if you're an American citizen on U.S. soil, they can grab you and snatch you. And that particular piece was brought out, I believe it was Levin, that pointed out that the White House wanted the distinction between the U.S. citizen and enemy combatants from another country. They wanted it separated so that U.S. citizens wouldn't be a part of this. And White House made sure that they took out the U.S. citizen part so that anybody, anywhere in the world, can be grabbed off the street, a gag stuck in their mouth, and them thrown into a cell for the rest of their lives. Who's to say they couldn't just kill them at that point? No one will know where they're at.